This was Ottawa's worst fire since the Russell Block fire in 1928. Although there was no loss of life, over 150 people were left homeless, and the damage was estimated at over $1.5 million. The fire originated in an elevator shaft of a government building, the book unit and typewriter section of the Department of Public Printing and Stationery at 47 Clarence Street. The alarm came in at 6:30 a.m. and within 2 minutes a second alarm was put in by Deputy Chief McFadden. In no time at all, there were over 250 to 270 firefighters at work on the fire. By 7:30 a.m., flames could be seen shooting 300 feet into the air. The flames were being fanned by north-westerly winds as the thermometer was registered at -7 degrees Fahrenheit. This was proving a very difficult fire to conquer, as this fire contained almost all the hazards that firefighters feared. Hydro transformers were exploding on the hydro poles, sending live wires onto the fire trucks and into the streets, creating electrical charged pools of water. Then there was the danger of falling walls, which eventually pinned Frank Quinn and Stuart Belair. Frank Quinn was trapped for what must have seemed an eternity with his head below the icy water, with a piece of the fire escape from the collapsed wall piercing through his hip. As could be expected, the sub-zero weather hampered the firefighters. They would reposition their pumpers, only to have the hose lines freeze up almost instantly. The Ottawa Fire Department was using the best equipment they had at the fire, but it was either outdated or undersized. They had two 1,000-gallon per minute pumpers, one that was 15 years old and the other 24 years old. The remainder of the pumps were under 840 gallons a minute. With the cold weather and almost came frozen hydrants during the fire, 5 city steamers were used to maintain the flow of water through over 20,000 feet of hose. It was estimated that over 2 million gallons of water was used up the fire. The RCAF station at Rockcliffe sent in a pump to number 6 station to cover the New Edinburgh area, and Hull sent in off-duty firefighters to help with the blaze. The Salvation Army and Joan of Arc Institute supplied gallons of coffee for the frozen firefighters, while the J. Freeman Department Store and C. Kaplan sent over bags of mitts.
Gentlemen, may I offer my appreciation and thanks for a job well done by the officers and men of the department who responded to the market fire on January 2, 1957. I feel that it was the grit and determination of all who fought the fire to bring it under control, and were responsible for keeping the fire confined to the area concerned. It could have crossed the street or even extended into another block. I think each member of this department realized the seriousness and proportions the fire could have grown and gave their best. Thanks again for a job well done.